Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Logic Pro tutorial. I hope you guys are excited to be here. Today we are going to be talking about the not the quick sampler, but the full sampler, the multi-sampler that you have access to in Logic 10.6 and higher. I think it's a really great tool. I hope you're excited to use it. We're going to make some fun sounds with it today. So let's dive right in. Here we are in a brand new Logic session, and I want to make a software instrument. By the way, if yours look like pictures and not words, then you want to go over here to Logic Pro, Preferences, come down and select your advanced tools and turn all of those advanced tools on because you're missing out on things that could be really helpful to you as an artist. So to make a software instrument, I can either click there and click Create, or I could right click here and say make a new software instrument. So all are good ways to get your software instrument. Now, the next thing I want to do is make sure I can see my track inspector. That's this little button right here, and it brings up this section of your screen. It lets you see what's making your sound and how your sound is being modified. If for some reason you can't see all the options here, you probably have some of these menus open. You just want to click the triangles and reduce the sound. The item that we are most interested in right now is this item. It is the instrument slot on the track inspector, and it is between MIDI effects and audio effects. It's what turns MIDI data into audio information. When you hover your mouse over it, you'll see a few things. You can turn it on and off. You can change the settings for that particular instrument, or you can hit these arrows and select the different instrument that you want. And we want the sampler or the multi-sample tool, and we're going to select stereo now. And this is what it is. For some reason, this doesn't come up. You just click right in the middle of this, and it'll bring it right up, and you are set and ready to go. So we are going to create our own drum set using samples that we have. And to do that, I'm going to select the Mapping and Zone tool. So this is the Mapping and Zone system. And these are really important things for us to be able to use, and we need to utilize them well. So over here on the right side of the screen, I've used my media menu to be able to select a folder that I have some samples saved in. The first one that I'm going to use is this kick drum, and I'm going to take my kick drum and drag it over and place it on the key for C1. What that has done is now set the root key for that sample to be C1. That's where the sample is going to have its original pitch. And anytime I play the C1 key, which you can see on my musical typing right here, I'm just playing a piano key. I can also do that with my typing. I brought this up using Command K. So anytime I type an A on my keyboard, I get that sample to hit. If I hold the A down, it plays the whole sample. Now, it only played a part of the sample at the very beginning. To change that, you can use this one-shot button. Also, that sample is a bit on the loud side. So I'm going to come up here to the volume while that key is selected and just dial that back to about -7. So now, anytime I hit A, it'll be a little bit softer and it'll play straight through it. No matter how fast I type the A, it all plays through the sample. As a side note, if you needed to make the sample shorter, you could trim it from the right end there, or you could trim it from the left end here. For example, there's some dead sound space right there that we don't maybe want, and we could actually get in and take away that dead sound space. So that clip happened more in time with the actual key press. So that would be the kick drum. You could also get in and reverse it if you want to. Kind of fun. So now I want to add a snare drum hit. So here we go, snare drum going in on the typical key there, and a hi-hat hit going in on its typical key here. So now I've got a hi-hat, a snare, and the kick drum. And so for the snare, I want to go in and get that volume down. Another thing is I'm going to pan it. I'm going to put the pan pretty far for this instance over, and on the hi-hat we're going to do the opposite, pan it the other way. And again, reduce its volume, give us a little bit of room to play. So now with those different keys, I've made the root elements of my drum kit. So I've got everything made. Everything's happening exactly the way I want it. It's even panned ear to ear. I can adjust independent volumes. Super, super, super cool. Now I'm going to come up this keyboard just a little bit. And I'm going to come up here to the C3 range. But what I'm going to do is take this orchestra hit and put it on key G3. So now on G3, I've got that one orchestra hit. Again, I'm going to pull the volume down just a little bit because it's a little aggressive on these. And I don't want one shot this time because I want it to be able to stop as I play it. If I stretch from the right edge and stretch from the left edge, now I've actually taken this and expanded it up and down specific notes. Now, the root key is still G. The original sample is still set to G. But I have more sounds as I go up. So I can actually now begin to make bass lines or melodies. That was an accidental hit of the record key. So I've got that one sample being exploded into all these different sounds, and it's all on the same exact instrument with my drum set. Now, you might not want it to be on the same exact instrument. I get it. But you do have access to it there on the same instrument if you want it. When you're done, you can come up here and say Save As. And it will save that project as. And now, whenever you go back in, you can actually get your drum kit right back no matter what project you're in by selecting your sampler out of the upper menu. So I hope you have found this extremely helpful. It's a good way to get in and have a lot of fun with samples and recording different stuff. So like and subscribe if you found that helpful. There'll be a lot more stuff like this coming out. And I hope you have a good time making some music.